All right, so let's go ahead and get started. XRP ODL will create hyper deflationary burns and make XRP eventually scarce. At the end of this video, you will understand that a $10,000 XRP is very possible. You're going to love the juicy middle and you're going to love this content. So let's go ahead and get started. And before we get started, we also both get supported by the Decent Wallet. So watch this quick ad. Hopefully you're not leaving your cryptocurrency on the exchanges. Exchanges can fail and get hacked. If you don't own the keys to your coin, then you're not in custody of your coin, someone else is. Be sure to get yourself a cold storage wallet. I suggest the Decent Wallet after having owned several different wallets. I like the Decent Wallet. I like the easy access with the thumbprint. I love the features inside, how it Bluetooths with my phone and gives me a large screen. I also like how I can order two. I use one for a moon bag, coin I'm not going to touch for maybe years. I use the other one as just my regular wallet. You can order two for $219, that's $99 off. Or you can order one if you wish. When you order, your shipping is free if you live in the US, the UK, the EU, or Japan. Order one today. I think you'll be satisfied. To order now and get the discount, you can use the link that's appearing above my head. There's also a link in the description, and generally there's one at the end of all my videos. Go ahead and order now. You'll be satisfied. All right. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it. All right, Max.
All right, so the first thing we're going to start off with is what you're going to see on your screen here in just a bit. It's the whole basic search, basically, of the XRP burn rate. And what we're alluding to here is, since its inception, XRPL, as an XRP ledger, has burned approximately 13.5 million XRP, valued at 27.9 million by the end of 2024. This relatively slow burn rate is due to the network's minimal transaction fees, which average less than 0.202 per transaction. Now, I cite this because it was only about a day ago. Now, what I also want to share with you guys, obviously compared to just doing a basic search, is, let's face it, AI, grok conversation. I understand that AI is not the end-all be-all, but it is a nice source of information, and we'll share some other citations with you. What is the XRP burn rate? Also, when is it actually burned? Now, it gives you some other key details. The burn rate refers to the amount of XRP that's permanently removed from circulation through each transaction on the XRPL. According to available data, the burn rate has basically varied, but has been known to burn approximately 2,400 to 2,800 XRP daily. It can fluctuate, and they give you an instance that back in the first quarter 2024, so basically a year from, a year ago, over 600,000 XRP was burned from transaction fees, which equates to an average of about 6,666 XRP from that day or that period. All right, so when is XRP burn? Well, it's primary burn through the transactions on the XRP ledger, but they give a breakdown how it works. I don't want to get into too much of the crazy nerd talk, but we do see that this citation on the basic search makes sense, and it even gets into the whole thing of DMM creation and of course other scenarios. But my thing is this: when we see the topic of what is burned and how it's designed to be deflationary over time, it tells me, interesting, well, how can we have this become hyper deflationary, if you will? And for me, as we get further into this, my answer is the whole thing of, on-demand liquidity, Ripple's original product, being turbocharged through regulatory clarity of having not just 3 banks, but thousands of banks basically doing burns, rapidly reducing that total supply instead of having the initial supply of 100 billion XRP. This is where I want Will to jump in and give his thoughts.
All right. Well, let's take a look at an article that came out in October. All right. This article, Chris Larson's 2.75 billion XRP could soon support Ripple ODL as supply tightens. And what we need to think about is look at the date here, October 19th, 2024. That was before we had the November election results, which drove the price up 5 times. So there was tons of purchasing of XRP. So the supply has more secured in wallets, wouldn't you say? That a lot of people are hanging on to XRP. And so let's take a look at this. How much XRP is available excluding the escrow accounts? The reason we exclude the escrow accounts is Ripple is not going to go bankrupt to sell XRP. That's their bank account. That's their actual money. They would rather the price of XRP go up, wouldn't they? Because then they have more money to buy companies and play games and pay people, and that's their wallet. So they're not going to forsake their own wallet just giving it to banks in order to use it, because then what they would do is work against the price of XRP. So they may sell some of it, but they aren't going to sell all of it. Long story short, let's go with 62 billion XRP are available for cross-border transactions. Now, we have to subtract from that a few things. That is, look at this. How much XRP in Grayscale XRP Trust? Well, they're saying 16 billion. So roughly, if we subtract 16 billion from the 62 billion, we end up with 46 billion. Now we can subtract some more things. We can subtract, well, there's 5 million wallets. How many wallets are there in approximation? Well, there's 5 million. Now, some of those required more money than just one XRP. So look at this. In the past, the XRP ledger required a minimum of 20 XRP to activate or form a wallet. So there's a bunch of those. And then it was reduced to 10, and everyone knows it was reduced to 1 XRP on December the 2nd. So if we go with an average of 5, which is very conservative, and you multiply that times the 5 million wallets, then you can come up with the figure that you're going to subtract out of, how much is that? 25 million. So if we subtract that out, what else can we subtract out? Well, how many XRP are in the AMM? The most recent, look at my terrible spelling, and Grok still figured out what I was saying.
You don't have that on the screen at the moment. Or actually, yes, you do. I apologize.
Oh, okay.
You're there.
Okay, so how many XRP are in the AMM? Look at my terrible spelling there. The most recent data available from the post on X indicates that the total amount of XRP locked in the XRP automated market maker pools surpasses 9 million. So you subtract another 9 million. So we get down to, it's under 46 billion, but let's just use the $46 billion amount, the 46 billion XRP amount. So that's how many is available if they were all purchased all at once. Okay. And if you didn't figure that, that would drive the price up, right? If somebody's trying to buy them, the price is going to start going up, isn't it? So we're just pretending that the price is not going up because someone's trying to buy this amount. Now, why would somebody want to buy this amount? Well, if you multiply 45 billion XRP times $2.50, you basically can move $115 billion. Now, so why is that significant? Well, take a look at this. So another question asked Grok, but this information is reliable. Look at this. Daily transactions processed by CGI, a major IT and business consulting firm, mentioned that they support client, that's multiple, right? Plural, in transferring more than $21 trillion every day. Okay. Well, let's pretend for a second that only 3 of those banks that do $21 trillion a day come to the table and want to use XRP to move that money. Just 3, not the thousands that XRP has MDAs with. We know 1,700 plus they've been securing more deals. So I would venture to say, it's easy to say, there's probably a few thousand banks and institutions. So we have all of that. So we're just going with three banks. If you multiply out 21, you get $63 billion. I'm sorry, $63 trillion times $2.50 is $172 billion that would need to be moved every day. If you divide that figure by 365, then you end up with $172 billion a day that those three banks would need to move. However, we only have the ability to move $115 billion. So what happens? Well, if you divide that out again, just those three banks, the price required would be $3.74. Now, you haven't added in retail. You haven't added in the fact that you just spiked the purchase of XRP majorly. So we're leaving completely out of the scenario the retail market responding because of a bull spike. Okay. Now, we just had a bull spike that added $2 to the price that was just retail people mostly purchasing XRP whales, and that included. So you have these three banks come to the table. There's not enough XRP to move the amount of money they need to move, just three of them. How much XRP would be required at the current prices to move thousands of banks? Well, it would take a whole lot more than the available supply now. So what's the answer? The price has to go up. There's an analogy that I used to do. If you took thousands of hoses that represent each bank and you ran it into one hose, and that hose was extremely flexible, then you have the other side where people are receiving the same 1,000 in as thousands out. Your center hose is extremely flexible. The size of that hose would represent the price of XRP. So when you turn on a few hoses, it's able to handle it. It can handle the volume. But as all of those banks get turned on, that hose is going to have to get as big as the volume of all of the banks doing their transactions daily. That's going to send the price up. I believe $10,000 is a small price. By the way, if you like this kind of content, go ahead and like and subscribe on our channels, because we love to keep you updated on some of this material. So what we're showing you here, what this shows me, it's not me showing you, it's just us putting together the information. That the information bears out that if three banks push the limit and drive the price to all-time highs, you answer the question, how many does thousands of banks push the price? Not to mention everything else we could add in. I mean, we haven't even taken away TFs. That's going to be billions of XRP taken out of the cross-border transaction pool to purchase. And just as an extra added note, the value of the AMM and the liquidity pools is going to become huge, which I believe will be the answer. So if you're thinking of an exit strategy, you can just earn money by sticking, as your XRP goes to the moon, you can put that in the AMM and it can be leased out, and you just sit there and make a residual off of it. But anyway, that's what I have. It's what we've looked up. Max, what do you think about all that?
Very well presented, great perspectives as usual. Will Fix does an excellent job of breaking it down, but just to pound it home a little bit more, we're going to share this with you on your screen for your own reference, research. And it is from XRP Scan. If you've never seen this site before, I want to share it with you. As it comes up on your screen, you can go to xrpscan.com, and what you see here is basically, a little bit of what we were talking about. Top right area, emphasis of XRP burn, 13,367,225. That's all time. Now, some of you guys are going to point out, well, that's just, peanuts compared to the overall supply, right? But again, I want to point out this to you guys, because when you see some of these things, well, you literally see in real time what is being burned over and over and over in the amount of XRP. Now that's tiny amounts, but back to what Will was talking about earlier in regards to specific what? Well, when he was using the hose analogy, you know, I don't have a hose handy, but the way I look at it with my back scratcher is this is the normal rail, if you will, or a hose. And what we see right now is the amounts of, let's face it, $2.50 per XRP. For the longest time, we saw basically 50 cents, and that was a figure that was used for quite a while. Well, all right, let's talk about on-demand liquidity. Ripple's original key highlighted product in their showcase. And the way I look at it is, yeah, we'll use the hose analogy, but let's use a snake. Snake goes out and bites into a big old gerbil, creates a big swelling, if you will, that is just inflating, getting bigger and bigger. So Will's analogy about the hose theory, well, again, if we're seeing these burns based off the prices of 250 per XRP and so on, again, what happens when it's not 3 banks, it's thousands of banks being turbocharged finally to use the original use case of Ripple XRP of on-demand liquidity. That is something I feel as though still doesn't get talked enough about, and people point out, price don't move much. There's not enough money in the world to move this thing. Listen, I get the perspective, but imagine jumping out of XRP for the small money, the paper hand money. The real money is the smart money, and it hasn't been flipped of the switch yet because regulations aren't fully done. That clarity isn't here yet, but 2025 should be the big year in regards to that.
Yes,
Yes, go ahead.
say, throw in there some other thoughts that came to mind is that Ripple's been, so the burn ratio has been in there for a while, for years, and it's like, well, it's been in there for years and it's only burned that much. Yeah, but we just now got RLUSD involved. We just recently got smart contracts involved. We're gonna also, there's other coins being put on the chain that charges XRP to use the XRPL network, and that's burning also. So we have multiple factors that have just recently been added that's increased the amount that's going to be burned, and that's going to grow as like what Max was just saying, exponentially when thousands of banks are joining, and then many other coins are made, and CBDC currencies that are carried on the XRPL network. Those are going to charge XRP fees. That's going to be countries with all of the money getting moved, with the volume of money and the repeated use of the XRP. It's changing hands, and fees, whole countries. So that burn factor, we did notice that they've put a safety margin in there where they can change the burn factor, and they probably will, because it looks like they could just burn the coin up, right? But that's a day coming, probably.
Yeah, I think that day's coming sooner than people think. I know people get tired of hearing that. They're like, oh, we've been talking about this for, this is now the 11th year. Just make it happen already. Again, you can appreciate that the house was built or the frames were put together and whatnot, right? Now we got to get that utility put into motion. Well, how about this for everybody, all right? We're talking about deflationary here. Who is another smart person out there in this space that references Ripple to be deflation? Well, no other than the one and only Charles Hoskinson of Cardano. What do I have? Well, as it comes up on your screen, you're going to see some key things, and it is basically this. It's the whole notion that he praised Ripple RLUSD stablecoin is, of course, game changer. Some of you guys have seen this on X. There's a whole new wave of people who haven't. There isn't one source of news. We'll just leave that at that. Every RLUSD transaction on the XRP ledger burns XRP, adding deflationary pressure while, of course, driving adoption. Think about that, everybody. Deflationary pressure. This is a big move for crypto utility and the future of decentralized finance. Listen to this. 23 seconds from the one and only Charles Hoskinson. And then we'll be right back. Here we go.
There were some technical discussions and some business discussion, and we also wish them well on RLUSD. You know, that's a major win for the XRP ecosystem. I really want RLUSD not only to succeed on XRP, but I'd like to see it become a multi-chain asset, go across the entire ecosystem, and it'd be a lot of fun to see if we can bring it to Cardano. So that was another part of the discussion.
Okay, think about this for this. Let's do some real talk real quick. Think about the perspective. Why would Charles Hoskinson of Cardano want to get behind this? Well, for one, it's a win not just for Ripple, but it's a win for ADA. It's a win for IOTA. It's a win for all these ISOs. It's a win for America moving forward. People say, well, how so? I don't get that. Think about it. Don't overthink about it. Tether was a big win for Bitcoin. Brought in a lot of liquidity. How many different altcoins are tied to Tether? Thousands. If anything, maybe millions. If you look at CMC, coinmarketcap.com, it shows there's literally over 2.4 million cryptos. Now, let's face it, a lot of those are garbage. A lot of those are basically meme coins and so on. I'm not trying to bash on all meme coins, all right? I believe in the Cokes and Pepsis, your Shiba Inus, and your Doges and so on. But whatever the case be, that is liquidity. Think about that. Just that. So again, you can understand and appreciate the terminology. Now, just real quick, we're talking about deflationary. Here's something I want you guys to learn just in case you're new. Check this out. This gets good. We're going to reference another particular person, and that is Edo Finina. Now, I'm not going to play the clip, but I thought this was good. He mentioned specifically this perspective. He says he doesn't hold any BTC anymore. Many of you guys don't. The myth about Bitcoin supply is only 21 million coins has already fallen apart. Is this valid? Validators can increase Bitcoin supply, which is true, and XRP is a deflationary asset. So wouldn't that drive more demand for, of course, XRP? Well, XRP to overtake BTC is a real possibility. Guess what, everybody? If you're new to the space, it already has. Believe it or not, a few years back, XRP at one point was the number one based off of market cap. So we already been there, already done that. Your quick thoughts in regards to the findings, Mr. Will Fix.
Yeah, it's amazing. I didn't know. I thought 21 million Bitcoin was the limit. So that's news to me. That's kind of cool. I'm okay with Bitcoin existing, especially we saw those new changes where we got a video coming out soon on that equalizes the playing field. No, won't give away that secret. We'll wait for that video to be released. But along with that news, wow, there can be more than 21 million. Who knew?
Yeah, absolutely. The next part we're going to get into is this. Shout out to our brother in the community, Smoke, aka Smoke Dog. He has some tremendous information to pound home the whole thing of what is deflationary with XRP. But how about this for size? How many times have we referenced, as an XRP holder, the power to become your own bank? Well, how about this? Ripple to be a central bank? Now that sounds nuts. What are we going to cite here? Well, again, he does it better than anybody. Give him a follow over at SMQKEDQG over on X. What does he have? Well, it's the reference. Ripple as a central bank. In the Russian PowerPoint, it is stated that new technologies that are being tested operate in a closed mode and do not disclose information about their activity. Hidden for the public eye. This is the discussion about Ripple, quote, working in test mode with major banks. Only occur with confidential presentations like this one. And I won't get super into every single thing, but I do agree 100% with Smoke. It further describes the deflationary nature of XRP, explaining that its supply becomes more scarce, yes, you read that right, as XRP is burned in every transaction, which is in turn drives up its price through reduced supply. But how? Well, again, it's the highlights. And in one particular highlight, I want to share this. And it basically is this. From the interpretation of Russian into English. In this, it mentions the features of a Ripple crypto. It states that, specifically speaking, new technologies are being tested. It is highly likely that many market agents work in a closed mode and do not disclose information about their actions. Both Ripple, BMW, and JP Morgan, Chase, and so on basically do this. Understand the difference between contracts and NDAs. Shout out to Menelek, who pointed that out. And as we get further down, what do you see towards the bottom? Well, it wasn't highlighted, but I thought I would also mention this. It says here specifically that there is no minting. All 100% of XRP in the amount of 100 billion units are issued to the moment of launch, or in the moment of launch. Cryptocurrency has a deflationary nature. Look at this. 0.401 XRP burns with each subsequent transaction. So at the end of the day, understand that cryptocurrency, or XRP, is not only the payment tool in the Ripple ecosystem, but the company works with both other cryptocurrencies and fiat money. Why did you mention that, Max? The reason why I mentioned that is because back to what we shared in regards to, I got to quick call him Doctor Charles Hoskinson of Cardano. Why? Because he understands how this benefits Cardano. Everything, all these big ones, the conglomerates coming together and benefiting from Ripple. So it's a major win moving forward. Your closing thoughts in that regard, Will?
Yeah, I think we've done a great job showing the facts that it is a diminishing supply. XRP has a diminishing supply, and we love the idea that the cross-border pool, let's call it that, the pool of available XRP for cross-border transactions is the indiscriminate buyers. Banks don't care how much it costs, so they're buying from this pool. That is the pool of tokens that will control the price of all of the tokens. Mine and yours sitting in a wallet will go up just simply sitting there because banks will be struggling. Well, not struggling. The ODL is because the price will just go up, right? And it'll just shoot up to the price necessary for available coins as they're purchased. So one bank, buys 10 billion. Well, in that process, it just jumped in price. So there's a control factor. By the way, I did read about their algorithm. There's algorithms in the exchanges. That's why one exchange can have a higher price than another exchange. And the algorithm keeps an eye on the supply available that each exchange is selling. So it's going up in price based on what's available from the exchange. So there's a bunch of mechanisms there. The balancing factor is the AMM doing arbitrage searches and making money through arbitrage trading, which I mentioned in another video. If the price is high for XRP in this exchange and it's lower in this one, the AMM starts seeing the low price, driving the price up, and selling over here, driving the price down to equalize it. So there's an equalizing factor between all the exchanges, and then probably company-wide, the price, the order books are going to drive the price up. And as we saw, man, as a wrap up, if 3 banks can tap it out, what is thousands of banks and institutions going to do? It's going to drive the price way up. Is what it's going to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, you guys, if you appreciate the content, simply do us a favor. Like, comment, subscribe, and how about this? We hardly ever mention this. Hit the bell notification. If you have that turned off because you have your settings on your phone, re-enable it. Obviously, it helps us, and we do appreciate it. If you're new, thank you for considering to subscribe to our channel.
And if you watch the whole video, type in the words, "Holy cow."
And we'll know that you listened to the entire outline. On behalf of myself, Will Fix, as well, thanks again for watching. Know what you have, know why you hold it. The research trumps FUD 110%. We'll see you on the next one.